Hey there everyone, I'm Jakejames Lugo, and welcome to the channel, where you'll find some of the most fair and honest game reviews out here.
Hello there.
And finally, it's time to talk about this. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I have the game here on PlayStation 5, but it's available for multiple platforms. And after being teased for so long, people want to know, does this game actually live up to the hype that it's garnered? This is definitely going to be an interesting conversation. After such a long wait, we could finally sit down and talk about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga in full. I've mentioned it before, but I have a big connection to this game because I got to see it briefly at E3 2019. Little did anyone expect how it would turn out. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is a massive game. It features all 9 episodes from the Star Wars films, giving an overview of what you saw in the movies with a lighthearted LEGO approach. If you're like me and played previous LEGO-style games, you know what to expect here. But you'll be totally blown away at how vast and detailed the Skywalker Saga really is. All of the characters, ships, locations, and fan service you could want from the Star Wars films is in here, plus a ton more. Seriously, there are some super deep cuts in here to things like memes, backstory details, and even video game nods that you wouldn't expect to see. But it's only the first steps into a greater, more fun-filled time in a galaxy far, far away.
There's always a bigger fish.
So, I completed every single episode within the game. That's episodes 1 through 9, which is the main storyline of the Skywalker Saga. That's just running through every single main objective in the game, and then doing some free play afterwards. The episodes themselves roughly run about an hour to an hour and a half each, with a little leeway here and there. The only thing I could really say about each one of the mainline episodes as far as the story quote-unquote is concerned is that you don't get to really control or play through some of the bigger moments in a few episodes. The biggest standouts to me being episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where you don't get the second part of the Battle of Geonosis, you actually have the arena and then you have the final battle against Count Dooku. And the same thing happens in Return of the Jedi, where you get the final battle between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Palpatine, but you don't get the second Death Star run with Lando and the Millennium Falcon. And I understand why, because each one of these episodes are kind of abridged versions of the main story that you got from those movies. At the same time, I know that other previous LEGO games have completely shown all these different battles in their entirety. So again, it's a pick your poison type of thing, just pick and choose what you want. If I had to really kind of, compare this to the rest of the LEGO games, I like this approach a little bit better. And speaking of which, I do have to mention that I did play this entire game solo. That includes the main storyline stuff and the free play stuff. I know a lot of people are going to be playing this game with co-op, and the main criticism a lot of people have is that there's no online cooperative mode. That to me is a fair criticism because this is something that I feel like you could have a lot of fun playing with another person. The split screen thing is totally fine, especially for local co-op, especially if you have little kids and such. But if you really wanted to get the most out of this game, granted because of its scope that's probably why they didn't include it, online co-op would have been the perfect thing to add here. Maybe down the line in some DLC, but for now, I think it's fine the way it is. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the gameplay for the Skywalker Saga, because there is literally a lot of ground to cover here. But what's interesting about this game, there's a bunch of different stuff that put it a step above previous LEGO games. The one thing I can say about the LEGO games is how they have a simple, yet clearly thought out design. You have solid controls that feel great, large environments to explore and discover new things, and plenty of challenges, puzzles, and side quests to complete. You could explore a bunch of planets you see in the Star Wars films, but you could also travel to space too. This is why the Skywalker Saga feels so massive. You have so much ground to cover between space travel and the surface of every planet. Everything you do is relevant in some way.
Impressive. Most impressive.
In typical LEGO fashion, it's all about collecting. But you know what the best part about this is? None of it feels like a chore. Everything is a lot of fun. You'll be smashing furniture to pick up a ton of studs to buy new characters to play with, new ships to fly in space, and so much more. Completing challenges helps you get those Kyber bricks to spend on new upgrades for your abilities. Yeah, there's a bunch of upgrades in here that you could get for each character class that opens up a wealth of flexibility and control. And did I mention that the melee combat and shooting mechanics have been vastly improved as well? For real, This game has a lot of great things going for it.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You are the chosen one! I hate you!
But a few more things I want to harp on. The game is populated with so many places you could visit and iconic landmarks you could see. It really is meticulous with its details. But this leads me to one major criticism I have with the Skywalker Saga, something I've hardly seen anyone really talk about.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
The honest truth is that the game is plagued by some pretty nasty bugs and glitches. These don't happen often, but I did run into enough of them to feel the need to mention it. Some of the worst bugs I found were game-breaking stuff. For example, a character wouldn't be able to trigger an event or would just glitch out and stand in place. This would prevent me from controlling them or finishing objectives in the main story. I didn't get a lot of footage of these when they happened, but one that did stand out to me was during episode 9, when you're riding the animals on the big Star Destroyer with Finn and Jannah. When it happened, I had to do a hard restart in order to continue forward. One major glitch I did catch while recording was the one you're seeing now, as I was playing through episode 6, Return of the Jedi. The textures on the walls kept going crazy, and the NPCs never appeared in the area. It got super bad and wouldn't let up until I reset the game. It's very bad things like this and a few others I found that could bring the fun factor to a screeching halt. I know there's been a few updates since release, but I foresee more updates coming soon as other bugs and glitches get discovered. This doesn't ruin everything for the Skywalker Saga, but it's definitely noteworthy enough that it needs to be addressed.
I don't believe that. And you're sounding like a separatist.
One other thing I do want to compliment this game about is the level of difficulty and challenge that you have throughout the entirety of the Skywalker Saga. I feel like they hit this really good sweet spot of offering a challenge enough for young kids, but also giving plenty to do for adults that they're not going to run through so quickly. LEGO games get this rap for being incredibly easy, and they really are to some extent, but the thing that everybody seems to overlook is just how much fun it is to do all the different tasks that you have inside of them, especially in the Skywalker Saga where there's a ton of different things to do. Not all this stuff is going to be incredibly challenging, but not all of it is going to be a complete cakewalk. There's going to be some clever puzzles you're going to have to solve, but everything is just super rewarding. All the time that you're spending in this game, you're getting rewarded in some form or fashion. Segueing right into extras, let's talk about all those goodies, because let me tell you something. Even if you're not a big Star Wars fan, or even if you're not a big LEGO fan, you're going to like all the goodies this game has to offer. Like, for real. Say what you want about the LEGO games, but you gotta admit that the series always gets bonus content, right? In the Skywalker Saga, this is put on full display in the best way possible. There are so many unlockable characters, unlockable ships, and other goodies to uncover. We're talking hundreds of extra stuff after you finish the main game. I played a ton of this, and I'm nowhere close to being finished with all the bonus stuff. There are so many planets to revisit and challenges to complete for extra Kyber bricks and unlockable goodies. Does this overstay its welcome and become too overwhelming at any point? Honestly, no. You could realistically complete everything on a planet within a few hours if you don't rush, which is a lot more reasonable than many other open world style games. But the greatest thing about this is how you're heavily rewarded for putting in the extra time into exploring every section of a planet or revisiting every part of the galaxy. Mind you, that's not including all of the bonus cheats, capital ships, new challenges, and extra side quests you can find too. They really went above and beyond here, which is something that I absolutely love to see done right.
Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
They're getting closer.
Oh yeah? Watch this.
I noticed earlier that the hyperdrive motivator has been damaged. It is impossible to go to light.
Great. We can still outmaneuver them.
So here's my one big nitpick out of this entire game, and it's based off of something awesome that they did. They included Dash Rendar's ship, the Outrider, from Shadows of the Empire in the Skywalker Saga. I am not kidding, I am totally for real.
What?
You're going to be looking at some footage of it now, but I flipped out on social media when I found out about this because this is freaking awesome. They label it as the YT-2400 cruiser or light ship, but it's basically the same model as Dash Rendar's ship from Shadows of the Empire, which leads into my biggest nitpick of this entire game. This game is limited in scope to just the Skywalker movies, which are basically episodes 1 through 9. As far as anything else beyond that, the game doesn't cover, which is absolutely insane because it would be so nuts and so wild if the DLC and like bonus content started to include other things, which they kind of have in some way, including The Mandalorian, including Ahsoka, including Rogue One, which is fine. But imagine if they started borrowing things from like the extended universe and being able to incorporate it into the game without it affecting any of the main canon line stuff. To me, that would be freaking awesome. As a Star Wars fan, they're already showing that this is possible because they have this ship in here. They don't mention Dash Rendar, they don't mention Shadows of the Empire, they don't mention any of the comics, extended universe, whatever. All that stuff is Legends material if you're following the Disney canon. I bet you it's because of a loophole, because at the end of Return of the Jedi, when everybody's celebrating there, you can see the ship flying over Mos Eisley, which is kind of like an okay loophole. I'm cool with that, but still, it makes me want to see other stuff like a Dash Rendar character, like Prince Shizor, like Black Sun, like all the other extended universe stuff from like Dark Empire, or like, oh my god, the possibilities are endless. So after building this game up, let's put it all together and tell it like it is. Can I recommend that you pick up LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on any platform? Yes. Absolutely play this game when you can. The honest truth is that this could possibly be one of the best, if not the best LEGO game so far. Not only does it have a reverence for the Star Wars universe, but it blends everything together with the lighthearted fun of LEGO so seamlessly, while also offering some great gameplay that is incredibly fun to go back to. There's definitely room for some improvement with the criticisms I mentioned, but nobody can deny just how fun and satisfying this game is to play. Without question, the Force is built very strong within the LEGO family.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
And there you have it, everyone. Those are my thoughts about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on PlayStation 5, but it's available for other platforms. You want to talk about things coming full circle here? I saw this game since its inception, and now that I have it in my hand and it's legit freaking good, that's an awesome feeling to have. I'm just so happy things turned out so well for this game, and there's so many other people right now playing it that are enjoying the heck out of it, because there's just so much to love about this thing. And what's cool for me as a Star Wars fan is that this game is good enough to be talked about in the conversation for the best Star Wars games out there, including Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Battlefront, Rogue Squadron, Jedi Fallen Order. This game is that good to be at least, talked about in that conversation of which is better or what are some of the best ones that we've gotten for this franchise. It's just that Skywalker Saga has such a reverence for the Star Wars IP, with all the fan service, the fun nods, the humor, the reverence it just has for it. It's so awesome, man, and it doesn't really get any better than this. But of course, like any other game that I review on this channel, that's just my opinion about the Skywalker Saga. Let me know your own thoughts about this game down below in the comment section. Tell me, are you playing the Skywalker Saga right now? What are some of your favorite Star Wars games out there? What are some other franchises or IP that you want to see LEGO get a hold out of and do something awesome with it? I mean, we have LEGO Harry Potter, we have Jurassic Park, we have Pirates of the Caribbean. What other cool things can LEGO get a hold out of and do something amazing with that franchise? Talk to me about that stuff down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. I appreciate your support and your patience with me for getting these videos out. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon for notifications if you could too. It helps out the channel a ton. You could also join my Discord server via the link in the description box in order to be part of the community we have there. And don't forget about my Patreon too. There's a ton of exclusive gaming content from me that you'll get just by joining up for just $1 a month. Definitely check it out when you can. Thanks again for everything, peace out, and stay epic, everyone.